Welcome back to the Patreon board. We're going to begin with Steve Kidd's request. It's a science fantasy flick with dragons, set in post-apocalyptic England. Reign of Fire is a joint production from Touchstone Pictures, Spyglass Entertainment, and the Zanuck Company. The director is Rob Bowman, who directed a few episodes for TV shows like Baywatch and X-Files. But as a movie director, he's not as experienced. The screenplay for Reign of Fire was from Kevin Paterka and Greg Chabot. It was sold to Spyglass Media Group, where it would receive some major revisions before seeing its release in 2002. There were a few technical problems that found some interesting solutions, but we'll get to those in time. For now, let's see what sort of havoc these dragons bring in their Reign of Fire. We open in jolly old London, where everyone moves in blurry slow motion. We see this kid, Quinn, walking into a construction site for the London Underground. He gets let in pretty easily because his mom is working on the site as a project engineer. They begin talking about a scholarship that Quinn isn't able to get because his mother couldn't pay for his education.
Maybe we could ask Dad to pay. Sorry.
Karen.
What?
Got a problem at number 4.
No, she's not that kind of Karen. Anyway, she hears of her crew hitting something, and they go to check it out.
And what brings you to the asshole of the world?
You're passing through it. What's that make you?
Here. Why don't you go inside and have a wee look?
Safety regulations? What's that? So Quinn takes a look inside what looks to be a cave, but it doesn't feel like an ordinary cave. Oh man, what could this mean? Well, as Karen takes her son out to wash his eyes, 2 of the workers go inside the void and... Karen and Quinn escape through the elevator, but before long they come face to face with the thing that caused this fire. Well, looks like we got ourselves a dragon. Karen dies from protecting Quinn, who becomes famous for surviving the ordeal. Then again, that's not saying much, as humanity gets pushed to the point of extinction.
Too late, our scientists discovered their true identity. A species which had burned the dinosaurs to dust, whose ash had brought on ice ages, who in eons past had scorched the world clean of life, then starved, then slept, waiting for the earth to replenish itself, waiting to start their cycle anew.
Kinda hard to believe that an ancient species of flying reptiles didn't resort to cannibalism once they ate up all other life. Anyway, the dragons are running out of food, but are getting more dangerous because of that. Humanity has dwindled in numbers due to fighting the dragons, so it's planning to run away and hide until they hibernate. Fast forward to 2020, man I feel old, and where's COVID? And Quinn is now played by Christian Bale. He and some other survivors are living under Bamberg Castle in northern England. He gets angry when one of the survivors is planning on harvesting food, even when the crops aren't ready. The person who wanted to do this is a guy named Eddie, played by David Kennedy. And this is what he has to say about his idea.
8 years I've listened to you. And for what? 2 kids and a wife buried on the road. I'm not losing these, Quinn. Give me the keys,
You
Quinn.
bloody take them from me.
It's a community, not a prison.
Of course, not everyone agrees with Eddie. Another survivor named Creedy, played by Gerald Butler, warns against any actions that could threaten the settlement. The argument is moot though, since Quinn has the keys to the vehicle. Later, we see Quinn and Creedy reenact that one famous scene from Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Of course, they don't want to get sued by George Lucas, so the characters are called White Knight and Black Knight.
The Black Knight stares through the holes in his shiny mask, and he speaks words that burn into our hero's heart forever. I am your father.
Meh, still better than The Rise of Skywalker. After the play, everyone is reminded of how scary the dragons are and what they do if they encounter one. This is the group's main way of keeping its members in line. But Eddie still isn't deterred, and he tries getting help from a friend of his named Michael. I guess they were able to steal the keys and now have one of the vehicles out. But I'm honestly more interested in the film's cinematography at nighttime. With the wind blowing around and these dark corridors, there's that haunted ambience that I appreciate. As if a dragon could show up at any moment and you'll have no way of stopping it. Anyway, Eddie and his crew get to the place where they'll harvest the food. I assume it's far from the settlement so that the dragons can't find their base. As they start eating or harvesting, there's a warning of an incoming dragon, which back at base is found by Barlow, played by Ned Dennehy, who acts as the watch using a falcon that he has. Everyone at the base starts moving further underground in response. Quinn gets word of what Eddie was up to by Michael's wife, so now he sets off to find Eddie with his own party, right when a dragon shows up.
Go get Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie ain't doing jack against these creatures. All the food is burnt up, and even the getaway vehicle is toast. Is there any hope for these guys? Holy crap, it's Moltar! No, it's Quinn and Creedy, here with reinforced vehicles and water cannons to help everyone escape. Of course, that might not be enough, since the dragon is still present. You know why coming here was a bad idea, Eddie. The only reason they get away is because the dragons can also feed off of ash. When all the action is over, they start to mourn the death of Eddie's son. Quinn is then reminded of how hopeless his situation is in the form of a flashback. But wait, there are some messages coming in on the radio. According to Barlow, it seems there are tanks coming their way. Quinn and company prepare for battle, since they're worried that the tanks are manned by marauders, but someone emerges to prove that his group means no harm.
Only one thing worse than a dragon. Americans.
Well, this is Denton Van Zandt, played by Matthew McConaughey. He and his crew are looking for shelter, but Quinn's group is obviously suspicious. Van Zandt responds by showing something of interest.
You ever seen one of these? Not many men have. Got out the first one I killed. The plane was better. So now you're a dragon killer.
Oh, so you somehow managed to kill one when even nukes couldn't do it? He explains that dragons cannot see very well at the time of twilight, and this is enough for Quinn to provide the American shelter, under guard. And Van Zandt's group even has a helicopter. Yeah, that won't make a lot of noise and draw attention. Among the new characters is Officer Alex Jensen, played by Isabella Scorupco, aka Natalia Simonova in GoldenEye. She and her team are in charge of ambushing and trapping the dragons. We also get better acquainted with this orphan kid that Quinn rescued named Jared. Otherwise, Barlow warns everyone that a dragon is coming, so this is a great chance to show how the Americans fight these monsters. Some of them take to the air while one guy prepares a trap on land. Said dragon chases the helicopter for a bit before turning its attention to what's happening on the ground. Because with the one guy dead, they can't find the dragon, so Quinn decides to help out by getting the thing set up. And once it's ready, the flyers lure the dragon towards it.
Do you have a visual? Negative! Damn it! It's right on top of me! Shoot! Shoot at what? I can't see a thing!
Whatever happened to just shooting it with a giant harpoon? Like that guy from Dragonheart. I mean, this tactic of shooting metal nets while in the air just seems super damn risky. And as if to prove my point, this happens. Another guy gets eaten, and another is killed off screen, leaving Quinn to be the dragon bait. He gets out in time, however, and Van Zam is left to do the killing blow. Let's see how the Dragon Slayer slays. Damn, that's a good shot. Now that we have a better look at the dragon, let's talk about the special effects. The dragons in this movie are mostly from Neil Escuri, a digital effects animator who worked on Disney's Dinosaur. This movie wanted to give the dragons a more realistic texture and design, since other monsters from Lake Placid or Dragonheart tend to look a little too rubbery with how their skin's stretched. In Reign of Fire, the dragon's movements look realistic enough that they could maintain the illusion, and in non-digital scenes, the monster models are provided by Secret Lab. The movie also counts on dark environments to hide the worst parts of their special effects, so they aren't that bad for 2002. At any rate, everyone celebrates their victory. Again, not drawing any attention to other dragons in the area. Why not blast America? F yeah, while you're at it. Of course, Van Zam needs to remind everyone that their guys died from catching that dragon. But honestly, the fact that humans can fight back against them should mean something. Alex then explains that all the dragons they killed so far were female, and her team is hunting the only male dragon in existence. If they do that, the dragons will stop reproducing. But Quinn is wary of sending help to Van Zan's team. Should the hunt fail, he's worried about leading the dragons back to his settlement.
So we walk over dead men.
Not with my people, you won't. I've got a castle full of them. I'm trying to keep them alive.
You're just letting them die slower.
I said no. I made a mistake letting you through those gates. I saw something in your eyes. I thought it was all. I was wrong. It's madness. You're insane.
When Alex presses further about Quinn's reluctance about going to London, he tells her about what happened to his mother. He's just trying to survive, sure, but I don't think that could work in the long run. If there's even the chance to cripple the dragons once and for all, shouldn't he take it? Well, Eddie and a few other survivors volunteer. Quinn tries to stop all this by fighting Van Zan, and he gets his ass handed to him. Alex tries to sympathize with his concerns, but says that she has a job to do. Jared is initially on the fence, but eventually he decides to join Van Zan too, only to come back after Quinn told him about valuing life and whatnot, so he'll be safe. The caravan then leaves at nighttime to start looking for the male dragon. Quinn pulls out a dragon egg from the dead dragon, and it looks like it's ready for fertilization. He's already suspecting that the male dragon is closer than expected, so he tries to catch up to Van Zan's team to warn them. But... it didn't work. It's almost like having extra guns on hand doesn't actually matter. And yeah, everyone in the caravan died besides Alex and this one other person. Plus Van Zan, of course. And just as Quinn feared, the male dragon goes to town with the castle settlement. Not sure if Barlow is sleeping on the job as the watch, but yeah, it's pretty bad. With the castle destroyed, Quinn and Creedy try to lead the survivors to a nearby bunker. Creedy volunteers to go clean out the fire coming toward them, but... dude, he's dead. Unless he can withstand fire, I don't think he's coming out of this unharmed. Quinn tries calming down the kids inside until something tries breaking into the bunker. It turns out to be Van Zan and crew.
You're right.
And like Eddie, no real punishment happens. Sure, Quinn thinks of shooting Van Zan in the head, but he chooses to assume command of the team heading to London. They get there after a short aerial montage, and it looks like the dragons own the place.
This town's going to hell.
They must have heard us coming.
No crap! Again, with how loud the helicopters are, I'm amazed they didn't just swarm you the instant you landed. Our heroes choose to head underground and end up inside that one construction tunnel where Karen died. Quinn relives the trauma for a moment before continuing, and the plan is to lure the male out before grounding him with explosives. As that happens, our heroes will shoot more explosives into his mouth, but obviously things don't go as planned. But Van Zandt takes all this in stride, and we get a pretty cool moment with him. Movie went hard there, not gonna lie. So it's up to Quinn and Alex to finish the job. After the dragon is grounded, they try attacking it with gunfire while avoiding the fire breath. Then Quinn gets the perfect throat shot and boom! Months pass, and we see that Quinn, Alex, and the other survivors have set up a radio tower. They haven't heard from other humans yet, but with no dragon sightings for months now, things are looking up. So, as far as science fantasy films go, this one's not too bad. Better than Curse of Komodo, but there's still a lot of problem areas. From a technical perspective, I like the sets, the digital effects, and the cinematography. But the story and characters aren't that engaging, because they feel really paint by numbers for a summer blockbuster. This isn't to say that it's boring, because some characters have their moments. But after a while, you just want the movie to end. Without a strong cast or a story to care about, the action is all that's left. The movie's good for a rental, but not much else. Watch it, then forget it. Next time, we follow up one dragon movie with another? I'll see you then.